Hello everyone, so today we're driving the mountains going back to home, and we got this idea to make a small podcast about how bad weather is influencing emotional well-being. So today is raining, it's not the best days of lives, if we can say. So I wanted to ask Corey, how does she feel today and what's her opinion?
Usually people have this idea that weather influences us, and somehow I agree, because in my opinion we are connected to nature more than we know and more than we realize. And I also think that not only weather influences us, but we influence weather, because as a collective on this earth we have a lot of thoughts and emotions, and they are very powerful, and they can influence the weather or the way that the earth is functioning.
Do you think like earthquakes can also happen from bad emotions or something?
There is a saying there, and there are some people that say this, and I had a colleague at my faculty that she was a researcher to some institute, and they were researching the relationship between our emotions and the earth. Okay. I don't know too many things about the results, but she was a real person that I knew, and she was working in the field.
Okay.
But what I would like to add is that actually everything is about our mind. If we think something influences us, then of course we create that reality.
Okay.
Because you can see that, for example, there are people that are saying, oh, when it's raining, I feel depressed.
Yeah.
And you'll hear people that they will say, oh, when it's raining, I feel so happy and so peaceful, you know? And then they find a lot of explanations, like, because I feel good when it's raining because it was raining when I was born.
Okay.
Or I don't feel good when it's raining because I was born in the summer. So they find all kinds of explanations, but in my opinion, we create our reality with our mind. So if I think that weather influences me, then it definitely will. So I think, for example, there is also some point of view that says that our body can resist to much lower temperature, up to minimum 50, and up to minus 50, yes.
So that's Wim Hoff style.
Exactly. And but we have to understand a little bit how did we get to the point to think that if it's 0 degrees outside we feel cold. When a kid comes to the world, although he has his internal program of functioning and his personality that he will develop and all these things, he also learns a lot of things from the parents. And because he's so small, he perceives his parents as like some gods, because they know everything about the world. But and he is small. So if the parent says, if you go outside without your jacket, you'll get a flu or a cold.
Then, often they do that.
Yes, and often they do that. The kid says this is the absolute truth. So in order for him to be in accord with the truth, he must get the cold. Because if I go outside without the jacket and I don't get the cold, it means for me as a child that I am outside the truth. In extremis, I can think about like I am crazy. So that's why kids take everything that their parents say as an absolute truth, and they respect it. So with their own mind, they create the code. Why? Because I want to be in accord to my parents. I want
to be loyal to parents.
Yes, and it's more about connection because if they tell me something and I see things differently and I express myself, then my parents could get upset.
Yes.
And
yes.
the most important for me as a child is the emotional connection.
And you feel safe.
Exactly. And if the parent is upset and said, well, I won't talk to you today because you did this and this, then for me as a child this is very painful. So I prefer to renounce of my own point of view for connection. So this way we create a lot of beliefs about reality and about weather, because this is the topic.
Yes.
And then we go on creating this reality. But in my opinion, we are nature too. You know, our bodies are nature too, and I think that actually there is a perfect communion between our bodies and between the nature. So I think that either way we should or we can feel very comfortable with nature and all its expressions like weather.
Yeah. So what do you think, what Wim Hof is thinking about, how he's positioning himself so he's able to do so many things like in the cold?
I don't know, I didn't study so much his method, but as far as I know, he says the same thing. His method is teaching people to control their mind.
Yeah.
You know, so it's the same thing. If I can truly think that I can go get in cold water and be fine, then my body will respect it.
Yeah.
Because there is another thing. People say that or think that our body works by himself. Oh, I got this disease. From where? Nobody knows. From the sky. But actually the body does what the mind says. So in our mind or in our psyche, we have like a folder that gives all the commands for the body. Our heart beats because we give the command, but we are not aware of it. Because if we will be aware of it, then we don't do anything else. We just have to give the command. So this is a reflex, and it's in the unconscious mind. So in our unconscious mind, we can have a lot of programs, a lot of commands that we give to our body that we don't know. And one of them is, if it's cold outside, you will get a cold. You know? So the body respects. Once you change the command you give, then the body changes something inside.
Okay, reprograms somehow.
Exactly. So I think Wim Hof is another personality, let's say, that with his method confirms that everything is about the mind, and with our mind we can create everything, and also our body.
I tried it myself, and I decided to jump into water in Lithuania, so at least once a week. So it started from spring, and I was just all summer, and then spring, well, with March, so like this time. So it was still ice, but I started doing this every week, at least once a week, no matter the weather. So of course, when summer, spring comes, it's very easy, but then when it gets cold, and it was like minus 17 at some point, so then it's like playing with your mind, and this is what you say, it's something very strong. But you have to tell yourself that you'll be fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, and to really believe the fact that actually it's about the mind. Because when at the beginning, when I tell people about this, they say, "Come on, I don't believe this," because what we were learned, it was so different, and this information, it's still new. Yes, I think we have to thank the people because we are up to 10 minutes.
Too much.
So thank you guys. If
See you
are
next
still
time.
here,
We'll continue
and
this
we'll
topic.
go on with our podcast from the car. Thank you guys.
Bye bye.